Grain Belt Beer, Minneapolis, Omaha, and other thirsty places.
Oh my. Are we ready yet? Y'all, man, what a day. What a time it has been, y'all. Happy Monday, friends. What's going on, y'all? I hope y'all are doing well. My name is Jay, JR the PT Gamer, aka JRPT, aka JR Partially Talented, aka JR Probably Toxic, Partially Talented, Potentially Talkative, all that and above in the bag of chips. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope everyone is, shout outs to all of you. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope over the weekend and in general y'all found time and space to find healing, to find recovery, to find the strength to the strength to both move on, and when necessary, the strength to give up and to recoup and to fall back and to reflect. And I hope that, frankly, I hope things are going well for you. And if not, yo, this is the time for us to talk about it, for us to be about it. Look, you know, we just need to, you know, go out from there. But anyway, how are y'all doing today? Happy Monday. Just quick sound check. I hope I'm coming in okay. If not, then I have to make sure I get the mic closer to me. Hey yo. Oh my. But y'all, it is Monday. We are on No, Kelly. I was watching a spoopy stream somewhere else. I thought your stream starting was a sound in the spoopy game, and I didn't understand why no one else was commenting on it. Sheesh. Oh my god. Oh my. I'm good, Kelly. Happy Monday. How are you, friend? Much love and appreciation. Comrade lady. Hello. Thank you, comrade lady. Good to see you. I hope you are well. Yo, shout outs to Comrade Smirnoff, aka Only Right Gaming, who you can find on YouTube. Shout outs to the homie Spicy Taquito 88 on the comeback reunion tour. I see you, Spicy. Welcome back, baby. Yo, shout outs to my man Killmonger, unapologetically black, unapologetically dope as fuck. All right. Shout out to you, Killmonger. I hope you're doing well, brother. Much love. Thank you for keeping me tabbed up. Yo, I hope your stream is the best ever. Yo, I hope we continue moving. Doesn't even have to be moving forward. Just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Even if nothing comes of it. As long as we put the effort in, then hopefully everything else falls into place, you know? Yo! Yo, Raider! Raider is my birthday twin. What up, Raider? Happy belated. Once again, yo, fucking love you, man. I hope you're doing well. Yo, Raider, we were talking about some shit before, man, and I just want to say I hope you're doing well. Much love to you. And I just hope that, you know, you continue to be you, baby. And that's what it is. And that is all we can ask of ourselves. Frankly, all we can ask, we can't be responsible for what others do. We have to hold ourselves accountable. If we truly, I think a big thing we talk about on here is this concept of love, right? And self-love, really, right? And self-love in our capacity to reflect truly, to try and see ourselves for who we are, for who we want to be, for who we have been, and who we are continuing to strive to become, right? And I think self-love is holding ourselves accountable to that, right? We always say hold your heroes to a higher pedestal, right? Why can't we be our own heroes? Right? We talk about, especially in the religious, in the Catholic faith, we talk about, yo, your body is a temple. Yo, you are the main character, protagonist of your own fucking story. Write about it. Talk about it. Most importantly, be about it. Because if no one's gonna fucking hype you up, no one will hype you up unless no one's gonna hype you up unconditionally as much, or will have, more importantly, no one will have as many opportunities to hype you up the way you can, and the way you will, and the way you should. That's all it is. Yo, this is what it's fucking about. Self-love. That is, in case you couldn't tell, that is the topic of the day. That is the topic, because, yo, I gotta talk to y'all. Like, I want to talk to y'all. I missed y'all. I love y'all. And even though I miss stream, even though like I hate the fact that like, yo, I don't like this streaming. I don't like the fact I'm only streaming once a week. I committed to trying this for a while because, again, you know, I didn't feel that streaming was creatively satisfying a need. My need of expression, my need of my desires to create content and to build upon that. For a multitude of reasons, which we ain't got to get into. And frankly, you know, there's so much I want to do. I want to learn. I want to teach myself how to make YouTube videos. You know, we did the logo and that was so much fun, but that took so much work and so much time, right? Love the new layout. Oh, thank you. Yeah. 28 years young. Sometimes it does take practice, Kelly. Yeah. My self-love is bad lately. Practice is coming in handy. That's good. And you know, like, yo, I think like it's about how am I finding the time for myself to build this capacity for myself, right? Because it's like, look, am I wishing for it or am I working for it? Am I wishing for it or am I working for it? Do I want this to happen or am I working to make this happen? Right? And wanting is the very first step. Wanting is the very first step to seeing something happen, right? Like if you want to work towards a goal, right? Then you have to set that goal for yourself, right? You have to want it, right? But here's the thing, right? The next step is like, all right, well, what am I doing next? And I've always had these ideas like, look, I want to get more involved in the collaborative projects, work on the music with logo, working on, you know, the intro video. It's been something that's been long standing. It took me forever with the overlays and shit. And like, you know, I'm proud of what we've done. And hindsight is always 2020, right? I have to show myself grace and love and appreciation that I have come as far as I have come, and acknowledge that I'm not where I wanted to be. And it's okay because I know, look, at the time I made the decision to focus on what I focused on and it led to XYZ, right? And that's okay. That's life. And, you know, I'm blessed that I'm in a position where I can exercise that privilege of like, yo, I don't rely on Twitch money to fucking pay bills or pay rent or anything. Or pay for a goddamn thing I pay for, right? Like, if I can buy a cup of coffee every day. And, you know, like, I get paid every week through my job. And I live my life. You know what I'm saying? And, like, yo. And now that I have a job, right? Especially now that I have a job, right? Because before, at least I had savings. And even with the savings, though, like, my broski, Wary Jerry, was holding me down. Once again, I love you, Wary. Thank you, brosif. Much love to the twin. I'll say that every stream, yo. Like, my twin is the reason I'm fucking alive, y'all. Like, no bullshit. Like, no hyperbole, no tall tale, no exaggerations. No stretching the truth. None of that bullshit. Only fucking real shit right now, y'all. Shout out to Wary Jerry. Thank you. Much love. And I'm gonna stop there before I like get super emotional. But y'all, I want to work out. I want to make workout and gaming videos on YouTube. Yo, that's fucking dope, Raider. Yo, Raider, my man Sleep hasn't been streaming, actually. Young Sleep hasn't been streaming. But Young Sleep has been about that fitness life. And like, yo, like, I think it'd be dope for y'all to link up if there was a way to. Like, I'm just gonna throw it out there because I think that'd be super dope. And speaking of in the YouTube space, right? Like, Smirnoff, aka Only Right. I seen your videos, bro. I seen that you've been streaming. I see you've been doing your thing. And yo, shout outs and love and respect to you, bro. I see you. I know you doing your thing. I know you working. I know you got the lady. I know you got your kids. Yo, I know you just making it happen, fam. And please give my love to Mrs. Smirnoff. Yo, let me tell y'all something about Only Right, y'all. Back when we play, yo, Mrs. Smirnoff, yo, she can belt, bro. She can belt. Yo, Jennifer Hudson, nah, who that? Nah, she can wail. Like she can hit the notes, and like I'm fucking, and like me as a singer and entertainer, like I hear that, I'm like, yo, go ahead. And like, yo, she a real motherfucking G. And also it's really funny when like, yo, cause Smirnoff, I know you're the cool parent. Smirnoff, I know you the cool parent, okay? Cause Mrs. Smirnoff, no chill. Mrs. Smirnoff is no chill. And I love it. I'm here for it. Yo, yeah, Lydia Smirnoff, it's been a minute. Yo, one thing I wanna do. Yeah, but working, trying to watch my pressure. Yeah, yo. You know, the number one thing is like you gotta make sure that whatever you take on, you're still able to take care of you, right? When all's said and done. I think like that's the most, for me, that's the biggest reason why I ended up shifting back from like, yo, from doing 4 days to just 1 day a week. Because right now with the job, right now with, you know, just trying to get my bread up and just trying to focus on like projects for myself. I think the biggest thing is like, all right, well, how am I taking care of myself? How am I building these capacities? Like, yo, I'm in a long distance relationship. I want to be able to talk to my girl at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to fucking like if I can just have at least a 15 to 30 minute conversation with my girl on a daily basis, even before I go to bed, and like, you know, I could talk to her when I'm fucking coherent, not when I'm like already assed out, half asleep and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, that's happy. That's good. That's self-care. If I'm able to set aside time where I could just chill with my twin, we chilling in the living room, we eat ice cream, we do stupid shit, we talk about all the shit posting that we've done on Facebook for the day and all that nonsense. That's self-love. That's a fucking win. You know what I'm saying? If I set aside time, if I'm able to set aside time for myself to work on these skills that I've been talking about, right, since the beginning of streaming, right? Like, and now I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful because now I'm at a point in pursuing streaming and pursuing this passion project in the progress that has been made to where I am actually much closer than I've ever been to seriously pursuing these things, right? And I'm blessed and I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful, and I recognize that as a community we've done some fantastic things together, and I'm never gonna stop talking about it. But just the fact that, yo, for charity, for my birthday stream, we had a charity stream. We raised $400 on a one-off, y'all. On a fucking one-off. 12 hours of streaming, $400. And like, I recognize there are things I could have done better as a content creator to like promote it for myself. Cause yo, I was like, I never promoted that shit on TikTok. I promoted on Instagram a couple of days. But like I was tired, so I didn't get a chance to like really like promote it on a daily basis the way I wanted to. And none of that fucking matters because still y'all came out, y'all showed love, y'all showed support, and I'm so grateful for that. Because like, yo, again, I don't need the fucking money. I don't care about all that, right? What I do, and so when I do ask for money, right, I'm hoping it's like when I do have a handout, I hope that, you know, I don't want to put a handout unless I need it or it's for something I really want. And the charity streaming is something I really want to continue to do. It continues to be an integral part of the goal of the collective goals within my vision for this channel, for this community, our capacity to show love for ourselves and to give and show love to others, right? I think that that's a very critical component to building inclusivity, to building a welcoming environment, and to sharing, right? We have to share our vulnerabilities, we have to share our strengths, we have to there's so much that comes into it, y'all, and so I'm grateful for that. I've been kind of bouncing around. But y'all, self-love. Practice is necessary, like Kelly said. Yeah, you know, definitely. And here's the thing, right? Like, I struggle with that. I still struggle with showing myself love and with giving myself space to breathe and to hold myself in a place of grace, right? On some Talib Kweli shit, you know what I'm saying? No Abby Dobson, homie. Know what I'm saying? Like, yo, help me find a way to a state of grace. Oh man, I love that song, y'all. Yo, Talib Kweli, Abby Dobson, State of Grace. One of the best songs ever. Like, please, 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 please. I cannot, like, literally, I cannot recommend anything by Talib Kweli enough. Yo, shout outs to the greats, y'all. Shout outs to the fucking greats, man. Mos Def, Pharoah Monch, Black Thought, Big L, right? Yo, if Big L didn't die, rest in peace. Yo, Jay-Z wouldn't have been as popular. That's a hill I'll die on. I think Jay-Z still would have been popular, but I don't think he would have been like, he wouldn't have came up. And that's no knock on him. That's not a knock on him. But yo, the whole reason Jay-Z's first official appearance on the freestyles was with Big L, actually, and with Carnival Entertainment, right? Yo, for all you hip-hop heads, one time. But anyway, I digress. You know, we like to bounce around. We like to bounce around a little bit. Yeah, I'm just blessed. I'm happy to be here with y'all, chilling with y'all. Shout out to all of our friends. Y'all, again, thank you everyone who's able to come out. Even if you weren't, I just appreciate, thank you to everyone who was able to, who's made the effort to come out and show love in the past couple of streams. Who's been supportive, just was, you know, shooting a kind word or whichever. Much love. Last Saturday, just some quick updates for around the community. Yo, Sunday was a impromptu stream from my homie That Asian Ren. Shout outs to them. All right. Also, speaking of That Asian Ren, I love Ren. Ren, they are such an awesome ass person. Whole ass dope motherfucker they are. All right, so That Asian Ren, if you don't know who they are, please check them out. One of the dopest NBs on Twitch. I said what I said. I said what I said. That's a hill I'll die on. I'll fight on that hill for my friends. All right. Y'all. Anyway, October 10th is World Mental Health Day. And That Asian Ren is actually going to be doing a giveaway of copies of a game we're about to be playing here pretty soon. It's called Kind Words. It's a lovely game, y'all. If you haven't seen it, it's just an awesome opportunity to be able to chat and to share, to hear other people's stories and problems and be able to give advice. And if you need a place to share anonymously, right? And I think, like, you know, sometimes you just need space where I don't want to be seen, where I don't want my problem to be seen as coming from, you know, me as a man, me as a male, me as an Asian, me as an immigrant, yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. Like, I don't want my problem to be seen through the lens of all the filters that form my identity, right? all the filters which become all the labels which filter my identity, I should say. That's actually a better way of saying it. Know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to fucking deal with that. Sometimes, like, it feels good to just, like, be able to talk about a problem. Or, like, or in the case of some of these people, as we're going to see, for some people, they feel like this is their best bet. And on one hand, that fucking breaks my heart because, you know, I relate to that shit. Because like, let me tell y'all, man. This is a special time of year for me, y'all. Because my birthday was a couple of weeks ago. But October 14th was a year ago on October 14th. It will be a year in about 8 days. In 8 days. It was the closest I've ever been. Not just to surviving suicidal ideation, but just my toes have never been closer to that line in the sand, right? And I can guarantee, and I can say with absolute 100% conviction that that was the absolute lowest moment in my life where I just felt nothing but pain, and I felt nothing but disappointment and anger at myself. And you know, I wasn't a downward spiral. I was already drilling past hard rock bottom, you know. And I think it's like really important to hold space for the fact that, like, yo, I'm still here now, right? And I'm blessed that I don't have to, that, you know, that I didn't have to go any deeper to realize, like, yo, no, I want to live. I deserve to live. I need to live. Not because someone else needs me. Not even necessarily because I need me, right? It's because I fucking deserve to. That's why. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I need to live because I fucking deserve to live. I deserve the capacity for love. I deserve the capacity and the pursuit for happiness. I deserve to fight, to lend my voice, and to hopefully be considered an ally to those who need their voices to be heard. Right? And I hope to laugh. And I hope, like, in the act of doing so, we can laugh. If we have to shed tears, let's do it together. And let's build it together, y'all. And I think, like, that's been my number one goal for 2021. It has been to build myself to a place where I can look back and where I can confidently look back, right? And be like, look, I am proud of the person I have worked to become since then. No disrespect to the previous versions of myself, right? Because, and I think, like, this is the thing, like, I've had to learn and grow accustomed to, is like, I deserve to win the lottery and spread the wealth. Yo, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. You already know, Smirnoff. You already know, brosid. We deserve the best. We deserve the best of us. We deserve every day an opportunity. We deserve, let me rephrase this. Every day, we should be allowed to work for the opportunity to have the opportunity to be the best possible version of ourselves. And sometimes And that doesn't mean we're always looking ahead, right? Because life doesn't work that way. Life does not fucking work that way. I'll guarantee you that much. It's been 30. I had my unofficial 30-day review at work, and let me tell you, my anxiety was at an all-time fucking high. And so let me tell you, like, that was not my finest moment. And like, yo, and it went well. It went well. I'm talking about it because it went well, and like rationally, I knew it was gonna go well because I knew there were good things about what I've been doing at work and such. I knew like there's some things I had to work on. I knew what I had to work on. Like, you know, I'm acknowledging it, right? But all the same, like anxiety wise, it's like, oh shit, they're gonna fucking fire you. It's like, yo, that was a struggle. That was a struggle. But you know, I think like one of the coolest things, but you know, again, it comes down to what am I doing to build, to be the best possible version of myself. And what that meant for me in that moment, when I'm having anxiety, when I was like, before I even made the phone call, right? Because I didn't know what the phone call was about. They're just like, oh, please, like, talk to your rep, da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, shit, am I going to get fired? Like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ah! Oh, my God. But then, it's like, wait a minute. Yo, best possible version of myself today, all that meant was going, yo, chill. Take a breath. Take a breath, yo. Just chill. Like, don't even think about this yet. Just stop thinking for a moment. Just catch your breath. Remember where you are. Remember who you are, right? Physically ground yourself in this moment, Jay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like I had to slow my breath. I had to slow my roll. I had to think about, okay, where am I? What am I doing, right? Why am I feeling the way I am feeling, right? I had to take a moment to step back, catch my breath, reflect. And from there, I was able to approach. I was able to, you know, move forward, right? And so again, it doesn't mean that like being the best version, for me, being the best possible version of ourselves does not mean that we are 100%. Because that's not progress, that's perfection. And intrinsically, we are imperfect as beings. Because the idea of perfection is such a value judgment. It is such a loaded statement in of itself, right? This whole, the idea of perfection is such a dangerous thing, right? There's no, because again, perfect to who? To whom, right? I think like that. And so it's not about what am I doing to be the perfect version of myself, but how am I progressing to become the best possible version of myself, right? I'm 33 now. There's nothing I can do about being a better 24-year-old, for example. Right? Like I can't change the past. What I hope is that I can reflect on what I've done as a 24-year-old man. Reflect on what I've done well, reflect on what I have not done well. Because there's a lot in both measures, right? When you think about it. And how am I trying to grow and be a better brother, be a better boyfriend, be a better partner, be a better friend in general? I think like is the main thing. And I think that's important to think about when it comes to self-love. Like, are you giving yourself, if there's one thing to take away from today, right, talking about self-love, it's like, look, are you giving yourself the time. Are you giving yourself the time that you need to breathe, to physically be? Are you giving yourself the time? And I hope the answer is yes. And you know the best part of it? Here's the best fucking part of it, y'all. Here, like, yo, this is the clutch thing about it, right? About self-love. Because let's say the answer to every question has been no. Hey, have you had a good day? No, I have not. Hey, have you had a good hour? No, I have not. Have you had a good moment? No, I have not. The answer is no to everything. Guess what? Here's the best fucking part, y'all. That's okay. You don't need to have the best moment. You don't need to. It doesn't even have to necessarily be a good one, right? What's important is that, are you giving yourself enough time to be, to reflect, right? Because if you're able to acknowledge, like, look, I'm not in a good place right now, that means you're working on yourself. And that is a victory, right? In of itself. Taking the time and space to reflect upon yourself, upon your growth, upon your well-being, upon your energy, right? That's a necessity. And when you fulfill that necessity, guess what? Necessity is a victory. That is a fucking win. It may not have been the win you're looking for. It may not have been the win that other people were expecting, but fuck all of them. It's the win you were able to make for yourself in that moment. And that's what's important about it. And that is what is so crucial about it, about taking that time and space for yourself, to yourself, by yourself, right? And when we talk about taking the time and space, it doesn't mean like fucking... I've talked about meditating, right? I've talked about meditating, and I work at meditating, y'all. And let me tell you, meditating is fucking tough. I've worked at it for years, right? To meditate, to reflect. These are skills I've been working on, of self-introspection. These are skills that I've been working on my entire life in some capacity or other, right? And growing up, those skills initially, I used those skills of self-reflection as a tool of being hypersensitive and having to understand the subtle behaviors of my caretakers and, you know, and simultaneous abusers and shit, because like I didn't want to get hit, right? So how am I, you know, manipulating my behaviors to fit with the situation so I don't stand out, right? How I'm reflecting on my behaviors and moving forward from there. And you know, just as an example. And then also, but then as I got older, right? Like these past 4 or 5 years, you know, going through therapy and actively working. And that's the difference, right? And that's the thing, right? That's what makes the past couple of years different from the rest of my life, right? Like what I've been actively working on trying to be a better person. I don't know if I'm a good person yet. And it doesn't matter because I'm working towards it. There are things I could do better at. Things I know I could do better at. Things that I probably could, and frankly, I've made that decision to not be. That doesn't mean it's okay, but that's the decision I've made because, in my opinion, there are other things I need to work on, for better or worse, right? And in the future, we'll see. We'll see. And I like to think that when it comes to meditation, right? Sometimes it's just as simple as detaching from the mental aspect of everything we do and just embracing the pure physical sensation of the moment, right? How do we ground ourselves into reality in the most physical of capacities, right? Meditation is something I want to practice more. I have done much, and I need to actually make and take the time. I appreciate you sharing that, Kelly. Thank you so much. And you know what's important, but like, you know, for me, I started with like the Headspace app, and I struggled like using that shit consistently, right? I used to try praying. It's funny because Headspace is what I have. Yeah, and you know, it's like a matter of using it consistently, and for me, like, I hope I'm not projecting my issues onto anyone. That was a struggle I had, right? Just me personally. I bought it thinking, sure, if I buy, I'll make me use it. Lol, nah. Yeah, same thing. I paid like, I think it was like $8 a month, and then like I just never did it. And that was rough because it was like, yo, you're paying like $8 or I think it's like how much is it now? Like $13 a month or some shit. And it was just like, yeah, like I need to do that. It's like, nah, I'm not doing it. You know, again, like it's and I think this is what was so funny about like this is something I've talked about. I haven't actually talked about it in as much detail, but especially even before, you know, the suicidal ideation and falling into deep depressive state and hitting rock bottom the way I did, the one thing that was always one of the things I tried to lean on, desperately tried to lean on, was prayer as a way of meditation and reflection. I always felt there was power in there. And you know, even, and it's funny because I've talked about in passing about my experience with religion and this ideal of faith, and you know, my struggles with that and all that and so on and so forth. But I think one of the biggest things about it has been I was on a pilgrimage in Brazil, and there was for you at one time. That was one form of meditation. Yeah, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. And like one thing I want to share is like, I think the point I'm trying to make, y'all, is that the Headspace app can work, the Calm app can work. If praying helps, if you find that you are attuned, that religiously and spiritually you find yourself attuned to that, right? Then fucking go for it, right? Like think about it. Think whatever helps you make that first step is not going to be the complete solution, but it's a part of it, right? Because there are different aspects which I think you can take from that and you can grow from it and develop your own. And you know, it's something you have to answer for yourself and go from there. Prayer can bring you to a focus, but it's not the same as grounding, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I appreciate you making that distinction, and I think like that is important. And for some friends, like they feel the same way, and for other friends, I've had other friends that disagree, right? And it's always interesting to hear it either way, and more power to you, regardless, right? And I think like regardless of what you think will work or won't work, I always say always give yourself time to experience it and maybe it will work for you. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll work for you maybe it doesn't work for you now, maybe it'll work for you later, vice versa. Who knows? I'm gonna lower the volume here because we are about to play. Oh wait, where is my sound? Oh wow. We are playing some kind words. We're gonna play kind words. And it here. Options are always good. Yeah, and I think like it's important you gotta hold space for yourself. I think it's like the biggest and most important thing about it is, are you holding space for yourself as a person to go from there? Are you holding space for yourself as an individual to proceed, to attempt to try and grow? I think like that's the biggest thing, y'all. I think I can't say that enough. I cannot say that enough. And I don't know why my sound is not working. I apologize. Oh, here you go. That's why. Here we go. This is why. Because here we go. Options are always good. Yeah, options are always important, y'all. Options are always important. All right. So we transition. Boom. Boom. Yes. And I hope y'all can see. Oh well. Alright, we're gonna start with some requests. Okay. I can't take it anymore. All I do is messing up everywhere, and in my relationship, me and my friends still always fight and stuff like that. Also, my dad don't accept me because I'm transgender and told it's just a phase. I'm just really tired of it. Oh, man. Poor N. My heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. Yo, we gotta reply to N. Forgot you play this. What's it called again? This game is called Kind Words. It's a game where we're able to give feedback and give advice and respond to people who need help, who are asking for advice, Smirnoff, and going from there. And yeah, this is shout out to all my peoples. Yeah, shout out to all my people in the LGBTQIA plus community, y'all. And I think it's like really, especially now, right? Like people are, you know, we are now at a point where we've done so much, right, in the past couple of years to normalize and to appreciate and to cheer and promote and celebrate diversity and strength of the human spirit, right? And with all that being said, like, in no way are we anywhere near close enough, right, to where we need to be, right? The work is not done. And so I hope that again, yeah, that's just something to throw out there. I just want to share with y'all. But this person N, you know, they're coming out. This person came out to their father, to their dad. Their dad doesn't accept them. Their dad is trying to like just say, nah, it's just a phase. And to feel like, and to be told you're wrong about speaking your truth. Yo, I can't even fucking imagine. Like, that's painful. Like, I can only imagine the pain, y'all. Hi, and I'm so proud of you speaking and acknowledging your truth, giving voice. Giving voice to who you are and how you see yourself is a brave and beautiful thing. I can't imagine the hurt it feels to not have your truth acknowledged by your dad. And the stress of fighting with your friends can't help the situation. Whether or not you can make peace with your friends and dad I hope you find the support system you deserve to keep supporting you in your journey to who you've always felt you were and are now. Like, there's a lot of, like, congratulatory stuff here, but I want to give more advice. And also, we need to acknowledge why... I'm curious, like, is the fighting with friends and that two separate things? Also, what other resources can they use? Who you are, who you've always been? Oh, yeah, I think, like, that would work better, too. I think also that would work better, too, Kelly, yeah. I appreciate it, yeah. Thank you. To who you are, yeah. Or supporting you into your journey to who you are. Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. Yeah, I appreciate it, Kelly. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, y'all. I'm just editing and trying to think of what would be the best way to write this, and I just want to make sure I have everything I want to say, because like there's only 14 lines, and I'm verbose as fuck. I'm very I have an affliction called diarrhea of the mouth, where I could just talk, and the unfortunate thing of having diarrhea of the mouth is that it also affects your writing. So I write how I talk, unfortunately. For better or worse. I ran out of space. Damn it. We all need someone to lean on. I really hope I'm just not like quoting Bill Withers here. Yeah, I hope you find the support you deserve to continue the journey. Yeah, you know, it's so funny. Kelly, yo. The service. Yo, you read my mind. Support and support system? Yeah. That's very true. Like, I think that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yo, Kelly, the editor, yo. In your journey. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Aw, Mitten. I'm gonna give him Mitten. Okay. Hi, N. I'm so proud of you for speaking your truth to power. Giving voice to who you are and how you see yourself is a brave and beautiful thing. I can't imagine the hurt it feels to not have your truth acknowledged by your dad, and the stress of fighting with your friends can't help the situation. Whether or not you can make peace with your friends and dad, I hope you find the people who will give you the support you need and deserve in your journey. We all deserve to have someone to lean on when we're tired. Want to know a mind-bending math problem? Maybe in a moment, Mike. Mike, good to see you. How are you? Happy Monday, friend. How have you been? Good to see you, friend. Good to see you. Okay, I have enough for a heart. Yeah, enough for a heart. It's not the strongest ending, but you know what? It's okay. It doesn't need to be the best. I relate to this person. Like, honestly, I don't know how. This is how I know I'm an empathetic person, because like I hear stories like this and it just man, my heart, bruh. My heart. Like, whew. I always think I have the spoons to answer more than like 1 or 2 questions. And I read this and I'm just so taken aback by like just how beautiful and painful this person's situation is. And yo, my heart just goes out to this person. I hope they're, oh man, that's really like, I just want to make sure like what I give them is that it like works out, that it's actually something they can use, right? The length of the letter doesn't matter, it's the content, meaning that matters. I appreciate Mike. Yeah, so how it actually works for this game is you only have 14 lines to reply. So you, yeah, I feel like that's why they limit you actually. Yeah, absolutely, Kelly. That's exactly it. Like you only have 14 lines. Like you can only give the problem in 7 lines or less, and you can only reply in 14 lines or less, right? Because like the main thing is like, look, you need to focus on the issue and you want to support. You could say way too much. That's what Kelly says. Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And like, I feel the same. Yeah, I got Spark Notes your thoughts. That's definitely one way of saying it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but no, you know what? I feel comfortable with this. So we're gonna send this. We're gonna send a mitten for a handhold in peace. Okay. Yes, we want to send this letter. I feel good about this letter, y'all. Thank you for your help, Kelly. Thank you for your help, everyone. I appreciate it. I hope y'all are doing well. Much love and appreciation. Ah, man. Like, it takes a lot of spoons, but I also feel good when I write, when I respond to a letter. Like, I feel like yeah, it takes energy, but then also I do feel it's not taking. It's not that it's like it's taking energy from me. It's just the act of giving the energy away, right? So do you read other players' notes like a pen pal? So Mike, yeah. So how this game actually works? I'm so glad you asked. So this game is called Kind Words. The cool thing about Kind Words is that it's anonymous. So these are all real life peoples and their stories. The point is, it's an anonymous way of asking and receiving support, that you can ask for and receive support. Asking for advice on anything. If you can't, you're not supposed to identify yourself or share anything which could identify yourself, or vice versa. Because the main thing is that you're focused on. The main thing you're focused on is like, okay, well, what's your issue and what do you need to share? I'm not gonna show you, but for example, like one thing. Okay, oh, this is a sweet track. But the main thing, Mike, is that you focus on the advice. And for me, when I respond, I always try to go with the sandwich, the feedback sandwich. I think of something positive. I want to acknowledge their issue, let them know that they're heard, that I understand the problem, give advice and encourage, really. I hope that's the hopeful thing. So this is something interesting. This is mainly out of curiosity, but why do some people do the emotional repression? Is that known to be a bad thing? Also, is it a subconscious or conscious thing? Jay. So, this isn't necessarily... Okay, repression, emotional repression can be bad if you don't regulate it. You have to channel to other things. So, I mean, what do we mean by repression? Let's look at the definition of repression real quick. What does the act of subduing someone or something by force, or the restraint, prevention, or inhibition of a feeling, quality, etc. Or the action or process of suppressing a thought or desire in oneself so that it remains unconscious. So no matter how we cut it, it just doesn't sound healthy, right? Let's reply to Jay. Yeah, let's reply to Jay. Yeah, like bottling up. It's not healthy. Repression is sometimes needed. However, you have to let things go by doing things you love. There needs to be a balance of good and bad. If you bottle up your emotions, it will become overbearing. If you feel lonely or hurting, the best thing to do is talk to those you trust and love. Oh, the best thing to do. Oh, okay, got it. I appreciate you sharing, Mike, but it doesn't sound like... That doesn't sound like repression, though, right? Like, repression... Right, the definition of repression is the action or process of suppressing a thought or desire in oneself so that it remains unconscious, or the restraint, prevention, or inhibition of a feeling, quality, etc. Right? And in the act of inhibiting, the act of repressing, of denying, right? is not just that we're ignoring it, we're denying its existence altogether, right? And so I agree with you. And I think like that's not repressing necessarily, because there's denial, right? And then just outright repression, right? And then I'm sure there's a difference. I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize. You're not allowing yourself to express, right? You're consciously not allowing yourself to express, right? So if you're compartmentalizing, so Kelly talks about compartmentalizing. Thank you, Kelly. So you said it better than me. So like, we're talking, so compartmentalizing versus repression is, okay, we're partitioning, right? We're acknowledging, okay, well, this is an issue. I know this is an issue, but I'm not able to deal with this just yet. But I know it's there, but I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it in this box, and I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to get back to this box when I get back to this box. Repression is, there is no box because there is no problem, because nothing wrong happened. Why do you keep fucking bugging me about this? Right? It's not a fucking problem. Stop talking to me about it. It's not a thing. Don't talk to me about it. I'm fine. I'm okay. This did not affect me, right? Like that's repression. Like it did not. Thank you, Spicy. Yeah. Compartmentalizing. I'll deal with this when I have the time and space, but I need to take care of things first. Repression. This never happened ever, and I will never acknowledge it again. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Spicy. Y'all beat me to it, man. Y'all really beat me to it. And so I appreciate, and so you know what? Like, I agree in the action in of itself, but I think the definition is, I think we have different definitions, Mike. And I think like it's okay, right? And this is why we have these conversations. And I think it's important because when we talk about these phrases, right, there's some things, it's not just the definition of the word, but it's also the value judgment we place to the word itself, right? That can affect our understanding. And that's why when we're talking from different perspectives, it's important to understand and to listen. And sure, that happened, but I can't do anything about it. Being emotional isn't going to help anything, anyone, or any other variations thereof. Denying, repressing the emotions. Yeah. Or another thing on that front too, right? Like, oh, it made me, you kind of give it like a little platitude, just acknowledging, oh, you know, it made me stronger. It is what it is, right? Like, da-da-da-da-da. You know? And, the one thing I do want to say to that is like, any traumatic experience, experiences, any painful emotion or set of emotions, right? Related to what has happened to you, that shit did not make you stronger, right? You became strong in spite of it. We don't have to be faced with weakness in order to prove our strength. I think that's like the biggest thing. And again, yes, and you're hurting yourself but not allowing yourself to heal. You're trying to deal with it by yourself or tough it out. It'll eventually become too much to handle. Yeah, but that's not... And okay, so I think we're just mincing words here. Are we agreeing? Yeah, I think we're agreeing, right? It sounds like we're agreeing, Mike. Right? Like it's just mincing words at this point, which is, we don't need to do, right? Because again, yeah, but not everyone is consciously aware that they're even doing it. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've talked about my abuse and like my struggles to the space that I have, to the ability I'm able to, and all I will say on that is that for me personally, I went to therapy because my uncle and aunt died. Two people that I saw as parent figures, they died in a very short amount of time, like less than 60 days between each other. Like, we buried both of them, and those are two people that I saw as like the closest thing to a father figure and mother figure that I had. Not just in terms of what they did for me, but more importantly in how I felt about them and how they made me feel, right, as a person. And the reason why I bring this up is because, first off, I didn't even want to go to therapy. I only consciously chose therapy out of desperation because I felt like there was literally nothing else I could do. Because I've tried to get high, tried to party it away, tried to fuck it away, tried to all this shit, right? Do stupid shit, right? None of it fucking worked. I still felt this pain, this emptiness, this hollowness. And so I turned to therapy out of fucking desperation. Right? The reason why I bring all this up is because this hits home for me in that when we talk about repression, there was shit that happened to me in my life where I've been abused, and it took me so long to acknowledge that, yeah, I was fucking abused. I was beat, and I was manipulated, and I was hurt, and I was put in a place of pain and suffering because of the manipulation and gaslighting of a fucking narcissist that was my caretaker, right? Like, there was some fucked up shit that happened to me. There's some fucked up shit that also happened to other people that I loved, to other members of my family, right? And like, and it's something that I never considered. It's something that I never thought about until going through therapy. And let me tell y'all, like, I went to therapy for 5 fucking years, and it wasn't until like towards like the end of year 3 that we even started to get to that point, right? And for some people, it takes shorter. For some people, it takes longer. And for other people, it takes a hell of a lot longer, right? Because we're talking about an injury. We're talking about something that has been hurt, but because we don't physically see blood, we don't think that it's an injury, right? Like, that's the whole stigma around mental health, right? I think the main thing is that show grace. The main thing is like, not show grace, I'm sorry. We have to do that too, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. Okay. The most important thing we can do is listen. That's the most important thing. Why is this person asking, right? They say mainly out of curiosity. Maybe they feel this way too. Maybe they feel that way as well. Our brother Steph in Iraq crazy because you have to train yourself not to feel, which is appropriate because if you let emotions gain control, you'll die. He said eventually got to a point where they just say each other, F it, we die, we die. He had a hard time when he came back. Yeah, thank you for sharing about your brother. And thank your brother. I thank your brother for his service. And I think how they train you in the military is that I think like that's the harsh reality. That's probably the harshest reality, right? Like, yo, you're literally training to kill someone. That's not a natural fucking thing for most people, right? So how do you do it? You dehumanize, you indoctrinate, you learn to live a completely different way because in the situation you can't think about the moral consequences of your actions, right? Like there's no fucking time. It's a you versus the other person in a very physical, very real time way, right? And then all of a sudden you live this certain way in order to survive. This has been your mindset for X amount of years. And then you come back to the civilian life. And it's a completely different fucking ball game. Nothing makes sense, right? You've lived your life through an entire set of truths, right? And you've had to shed. It's almost, I don't want to say shed aspects of your humanity, but I can't imagine the pain that comes with taking someone's life. I can't imagine it. Like I've and I give people and again, and I've gone through some fucked up shit myself, and like that's nothing compared to what others have gone through with that. And I can only imagine the guilt and the pressure that comes with it. I can only imagine. I can't imagine, actually. I don't want to imagine. I'm privileged in that I don't have to think about it. And that's painful. But you know, I hope I can acknowledge like it's painful for others, and it's a sacrifice, right? In more ways than one. And so, let's get back to this anyway. I appreciate you sharing that, Mike. Thank you. Oops. I don't want to I'm not trying to answer this for them because this is about someone else's truth, right? And I can speak to my truth, but this person isn't asking about my truth. This person is asking about something general, and this person needs to look it up for themselves, right? Hey Sam, happy Mental Health Monday. Love you all. Love you too, friend. Thank you. In your search for answers, may you find the questions. While you're living with your adrenaline in the extreme and your senses are heightened to an insane level, there's zeros that are high. Yeah. There's also no real adjustment time. There was later in then a few days later in civilian life, extremely damaging to the mind. Yeah, absolutely. Agree, 100%. Agree 100%, Mike. Okay. Hi Jay, there are many possible answers as to why people resort subconsciously to tools they choose to use to protect themselves from the traumas they experience throughout life. I encourage you first and foremost to read up on this and mental health on your publicly available resources via the internet. There are different reasons why our minds choose to defend themselves the way they do, and 1,400 lines, frankly, isn't enough to answer this. May you find the answers which will help you understand and give you peace. I'm gonna leave it at that, honestly, because they're not listening to anything specific, and honestly, like, if this isn't something I'd normally answer, but this is just more me projecting my issues and shit. That's why I answered it. No, we're gonna answer Jay. Also because this person's name is Jay, and my first name starts with a J, so yay. Okay, so I'm gonna back out. I'm not gonna finish reading that. Aw, someone says thing because I'm out of spoons. I'm out of spoons, y'all. Aw, I got a bunny sticker. That's cute. That's very sweet. Oopsie. By the way, Sam, how was your stream, by the way, friend? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming through, y'all. Yeah, good for you for recognizing. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Yeah, whenever I talk about medical stuff, I always say that they should talk to their doctor and do their own research. Yeah, and it's like it's more importantly, it's about the context, right? It's the context of the situation, right? Like, I'm not a medical health expert, and even if I was, 14 lines is just not the 14 lines is just not the best space in order to go from there. Everyone is different. You need to find out what's best for you. Generally, yes. I will say I will agree with the difference. I will agree with the difference in that I do agree that generally people need to do their own research. I think also there are some intrinsic truths, and there are some situations where it's not a matter of are we finding the answers, but why are we not believing the answers given to us? Why are we believing or not believing the answers given to us, right? For example, there's something I want to share with y'all. I cut off contact with my parents back in February. I just received word that my dad's in the hospital because of pneumonia, and he's an older man. He's never taken care of himself. He's immunocompromised. He's elderly. And he never wanted to get the COVID vaccine because he believed the Republican hype train. You know, he believed all that. And this is why I agree with the difference, because that's one situation where it's not, okay, do the research yourself and find the answer. It's that applies when we're talking about opinions, right? If there are things that are up for debate, I think you can definitely take that argument. Which is the best topping? Which is the best sitcom of the 90s? Which is who belongs in your top 5 of basketball players from the 80s to the early 2000s, right? Those are subjective things, right? When we're talking about things, though, which require expertise, then it's not a matter of doing your own research, right? Because the research is not the same, right? I could say, yeah, I'm going to do my own research, right? But I don't have access to the academically verified journals that medical experts do. I haven't devoted any relatable amount of time to the topic at hand, right? If someone in immunology, if there's someone in immunology giving me medical advice on something versus my fucking dentist, right? Both respective experts within their field, right? But when it comes to contagious viruses like COVID-19, do you think I'm listening to the immunologist, or do you think I should listen to the immunologist, or do you think I should listen to the dentist? Right? Like, and that's the thing, right? Because yeah, you can have doctors who disclaim other doctors, right? And here's the thing. And I have to, and there's always an exception to that, right? So Kelly is there's some people who can like figure out more your symptoms than maybe your doctor might be able to in a half-hour visit or whatever. You can bring them more info where you're at, so you can sort of be a partner in your health plan, get some more info. Yeah, absolutely, because you're the biggest advocate for yourself. Yeah, always wanting to take into account you don't have the knowledge they do. You bring what you can to the table. They bring what they can. Yeah, absolutely. And then Mike says, that's why I said talk to your doctor. Don't do things just because other people around you are doing or taking something. You need to figure out the best option for you. Yeah, it's a matter of doing. One thing I will say is, because again, like, I don't want to get into the whole splitting hairs or anything to that effect, right? All I want to say is I agree with the difference in that I just want to point out, like, yo, we're in the middle of a fucking global pandemic, right? Like, we're in the middle of a global pandemic, right? And like, I just want to acknowledge that while it's important to retain, while for some, while it's important to, be verified in your research, right? There's limits that go to that. In that I'm never, I don't want to get into it, but I'm just going to say it. Enjoy your dinner, Ella. Thank you for the lurk, my friend. I appreciate you. Much, much love and appreciation. Ella Mora. Sheesh. Yo, one thing I just want to acknowledge is like, that has been kind of the compromise statement that the conservative movement has used as a way to almost try to rationalize, like, okay, well, if you're trying to be fair, then it's not that my side is so crazy. It's just that don't take this other side for 100% worth, right? And yes, absolutely. But here's the thing I'm trying to say, Mike. Here's the thing I'm trying to say. Yes, look into what's being told to you. Just don't take everyone's word. That's what it means by doing your own research. Yes, I get that. I understand that. I just want to acknowledge the fact that politically, right? Because we live in an age where unfortunately for worse or worser, we live in a time where nearly every single facet of our life has been overly politicized because the powers that benefit from life, from our realities of life being built, from the structures of our reality being what they are, these people benefit and profit and will continue to profit from us living within these realities of life that have been constructed around us, right? As for whoever you think that is or don't think that is, that's not my place to tell you. And frankly, I don't have the energy, nor do I even want to fucking get into it, because I'm emotionally drained already from answering those questions. And honestly, I just don't want to be angry. I just don't want to be angry, y'all. I want to end this on a good note. One thing I do want to say, though, one thing I do want to acknowledge again is that I brought up my parents because that's some shit they always said. And here's the thing. My mom worked in the fucking blood bank. My mom went to college to work in the blood bank, right? That's on top of the college she went to in the Philippines as a nurse, right? In order to work in the hospital. And then she got all wrapped up in this bullshit and she started spitting the same Trump hype nonsense, right? And that's the thing I want to acknowledge, because she said the same bullshit in that, oh, well, just do your research. Freedom of Here's the thing. We could talk about, so freedom of choice. Okay. I think there's a very interesting philosophical debate and question in terms of freedom, right? And do we mean freedom? Because if we want to explore this concept of freedom, right, then we also want to explore the concept of individual freedoms, right? Our freedoms as we understand, our freedoms, are our freedoms individual and unique to us, or are our freedoms relative to the reality of others? And that's all I'm going to say about it. Like, because depending on how you look at it, right? Because as a society, we are not truly 100% free. Because if we were so, it'd be complete anarchy. Government would not exist. Society as we understand it, as we see it, as we feel it, as we experience it, will not exist. Like the purge, like we wouldn't have even gotten to this point with the purge, because frankly, if everyone's killing each other, who's to say that we would have ever developed the technology we have developed, right? So, with that being said, freedom is, we could talk about freedom intrinsically, right? We could talk about freedom as an intrinsic choice, as again, an individual choice, as a relative, as freedom and the responsibilities of freedom, as either as individualistic course of action versus a relativistic course of action. Oh, have fun, Sam. Appreciate you. Yeah, thank you again for stopping by, my friend. Much love. Thank you. Much love, Sam. The ability to decide what course of action is best for yourself and your family, that being said, in the bound of constitutional laws. So, okay. And you can make that argument, definitely, right? We understand in that context, right? And I think also we can look at context, but again, we're looking at the context of the situation, right? When we discuss, I am always wary when we talk about these phrases, because these phrases have always been loaded statements, in that they're statements which have always been used before by the old Democrats and now by the new Republicans, right? As a way of saying back to the good old days, right? And other similar things, because these were phrases which were used as colorblind. This was colorblind language, which in effect was still pointing out the difference between people of color and white people, right? And trying to convince poor white people that they're still better than poor black people, right? It's a class thing, but racism always has, and for the foreseeable future always will be used as a tool to further divide the class, the working class. This concept of race, right? Which race in of itself is a social construct as we understand it, right? There's no such thing as the Native American race or the South American race or the black race or the white race, right? Like, our concept of race as we understand is a social construct, because race indicates a difference of species, and from a species standpoint, all humans are built the exact same minus 0.1% of our DNA, right? Give or take a 0.000 whatever. Yes, the problem is that a lot of people aren't doing their own research in any sort of real way when it comes to vaccine, choosing what course of action is the best for them and their families. And again, you can choose whatever course of action you want, but when your freedoms impinge upon your fellows, it becomes a larger issue. Thank you for acknowledging that, Kelly. Yeah, I think that's also another really important thing, right? And because I can exercise my freedom, right? However, and I'm not expecting the answer, because I don't know the fucking answer to this, right? Is what happens, at what point does it start becoming freedom and starts becoming something else as it starts to push on the boundaries and safeties of others, right? Because what about people who are immunocompromised, right? What about people who are, so for example, when I lived in New York, I self-isolated because my parents are both elderly. They're both immunocompromised, right? They both have their issues, right? Like I said, my dad has pneumonia right now, and he's always had issues, right? Respiratory issues. There's nothing legally that stops me from saying, I'm not going to wear a mask and do this. And I could have walked around. But at what point does it stop becoming a matter of my freedom? Like, where does my freedom stop? Because what if I got them sick, right? Or what if I got someone else sick? Or what if someone got me sick and I didn't realize, and I'm okay because I'm young, I'm in relatively good health, right? What if I got sick and then I gave it to them, but then they became deathly ill, God forbid, right? Where's the freedom in that? Where was their freedom? Because because now I have exercised my freedom, but at the cost of displaying that freedom, I'm not even paying the price in case of that. What freedom is being impinged by not taking a vaccine if you're in the group least likely to be affected? The mask don't work unless the N95 medical mask. The CDC did a race arch and conclude masks barely did anything. I can send the link. It's the CDC website. Yeah, so Mike, I can't get into this because yes, and here's the thing, and you can still get the virus if you're vaccinated. Absolutely. But because you're vaccinated, it's not going to affect you as much. We don't take the point of taking the vaccine is not just necessarily to protect yourself. It's to protect everyone. We talk about a phrase which people like to throw around a lot, which we no longer throw around anymore because we know it's no longer the fucking case, is herd immunity. So the concept, so here's the thing I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say about this. Because you can choose not to take the vaccine for yourself. You can choose. So here's the thing. If you're vaccinated, why be afraid of being of the unvaccinated? The point I'm trying to make is I'm not worried about me being sick. But like you said, I could still catch it, even with the vaccine, right? But again, it's not about me. It's about who I come into contact with and who they come into contact with. It's not about an individual. It's not about just me and my individual freedoms and my individual ideas or choices. No, that's fucking selfish if I'm only looking at it from the scope of my own individual benefits or disadvantages, right? Like, here's the fucking thing, right? It's not about me. It's not just about me. It's not just about me because I am not the only fucking person on this planet. I am not the only fucking person that matters. Because I do not have a right, because here's where my freedom is. I have the freedom to make choices, right? Legally, according to the Constitution, like you say. However, morally and ethically, I have an obligation to the overall good. I have a societal obligation to do the best for the overall good. So here's the thing, though. I agree. We should help protect those with the highest risk. If you're sick, stay home. If you're afraid, stay home. But what about the others who are making the choice to not exhibit that? Mike, that's the fucking thing. What about people who are immunocompromised, right? Who have to work, right? Let's just say this, right? Let's put this argument out there, right? Okay. I am not able to work, right? I am immunocompromised. But I have to work, right? Because like most people in this country, I don't have fucking health insurance, right? So I have to protect myself. Even more so. especially more so as someone that's immunocompromised but is forced to work, right? Now, what about I'm more at risk now because I'm in a position where I have to work around people who choose not to be vaccinated and choose not to wear a mask for whatever reason and whatever argument you want to make about it, right? Like, it doesn't, that's besides the point. The point is, though, again, you can say legally you have this choice. You can make this choice. Right? You legally have the freedom of choice. But we're talking, but morally, as a society, we have sacrificed certain freedoms in the name of the common good. And why is the COVID vaccine any fucking different from how we treated polio? How we treated measles, how we treated the fucking, like, mumps, rubella. Like, we couldn't go to fucking school here in this country without providing an entire fucking vaccination card. So this whole thing about, oh, don't vaccinate my kids, don't tell my kids what they can and can't have in their bodies is complete, absolute fucking bullshit, because since 1918, we have been doing exactly fucking that. Well, those were far more lethal. Oh, right. Because COVID is only a 5% fatality rate. Well, guess fucking what? What right do I have as a person who gets to fucking die or not? Who gets that choice? Who gets that fucking choice, Mike? And I'm not pointing this at you directly. Here's what I'm trying to say. Why, if I know my actions could potentially lead to someone's death, not because they did anything wrong, and not even because they did anything wrong, right? Because they could do everything right, but still come in contact. Why should my choice, why would that give me the choice? Why is it okay to make that choice for others? Because that's what we're doing as individuals. When we choose to not vaccinate, when we choose to not vax up, when we choose to ignore social distancing, when we choose to ignore the new normal for the sake of others, then we have damned others. Because I'd like to think we live in a time where if death is avoidable, then why the fuck aren't we doing it? Like, that's it. That's all it. That's all it comes down to. We are talking about making a series of decisions to protect people. It does not matter whether I personally am immunocompromised, whether you personally are immunocompromised, or Kelly is, or Spicy is, or anyone else in this fucking chat, or anyone else that is listening or not listening. It does not fucking matter, bro. It doesn't fucking matter. What fucking matters is understanding my choice. I have the freedom of choice. Yes, legally. However, let's be real. I am only free in the case where I am able to wear a mask. In the case where I am able to wear a mask. No, we're not talking about pollen because we're talking about that. Okay, are you going to keep all kids? Okay, are we talking about one kid or are we talking about all kids in recess? Because, okay, guess what? If one kid has fucking allergies, guess what? There's medication. Because guess what that kid had to do? That kid had to stay inside. Because guess what? And if it's the same thing though. But you know what? They banned peanuts in classrooms for kids that have allergies to nuts. Thank you, Kelly. For kids that have allergies to nuts. Like, and we're talking kids that have deathly allergies, bro. Please do not tell me you are trying to conflate fucking pollen to a disease, to a virus that is single-handedly responsible for over however hundreds of thousands of potentially avoidable deaths here in the US alone. Please tell me we are not conflating, because that is a straw man and a fucking half. And I dare say, sir, that is bullshit. I'm sorry, I gotta call bullshit on that. Like, and here's the thing. We could talk about, okay, well, COVID isn't that deadly, compared to the flu, compared to this, compared to that. We're talking specifically COVID-19. We're talking specifically COVID-19, as in singular. When we say flu, when we say other diseases, right? We are always fucking grouping them together, right? Okay, and then we could talk about, okay, in the beginning, we had issues with how COVID was categorized and why were people put on ventilators. That's not the fucking point now, okay? Because now we know better, okay? If we're back in that moment in time a year ago, then yes, absolutely. That is a meritorious point to make. And I definitely agree. Like, yeah. Okay, when we first started, we fucked up, I'm sure. Absolutely. But that's not the point now. The point is, now we know more. Now we know better. Now there's an actual vaccine, which is now approved by the FDA to have worked, to be ethical, to be effective, to be safe. And yet, so we didn't do this for the swine flu. We didn't do this for Ebola because those diseases were fucking irrationally hyped up. Because when did you ever hear about Ebola after fucking Obama left office? When did you ever hear about mad cow disease after fucking Clinton left office? When? When did we hear about the bird flu after 2010, bro? Because let me tell you, I only heard about because the bird flu, for me specifically, that was only used to tease me as a fucking Asian. Because guess what? There are tools in place. Can every virus potentially be lethal? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. But we cannot. But here's the thing. There are proven cures. There are proven ways of tracking. We are talking about a disease, a virus that has affected the world on a once in a lifetime scale. So because of that, we cannot treat it the same way. That is a fallacy. That is a fallacy. We can't treat it the same way. Obviously, we can't treat it the same way we treated, because guess what? Okay, fine. We didn't treat COVID the same way we've treated mad cow disease. I'm not talking about mad cow disease. We can't look at those diseases, right? Can't, because mad cow disease has never gotten to the level that COVID has. Nor has Ebola. Nor has the bird flu. We are talking about a once in a lifetime event. We're talking about something that has affected the global fucking community. Literally life-changing shit. Literally life-changing shit. We can't fucking just try to compare. Also, did you know that childhood suicide rates have skyrocketed since lockdowns and mandates? They're least vulnerable to COVID, yet they're treated the same as someone in the high-risk community. So are we saying that social distancing is bad? So why are we still forced to go with lockdowns and mandates? Why are we forced to? Because we have not beaten the disease. People we're almost 2 years into it, and we're still not where we probably should be, where we could be, because people are exercising their free will. People are exercising their free will and their individual choice over the effects on any. The point I've been trying to make, and I hope I've made, and that I've made with you, Mike, is, our actions, every action has a fucking consequence. And just because you and I may not bear the repercussions of those consequences does not mean that does not mean that they're not happening. They're just not happening to us. It won't be beaten, it's here to stay. It definitely will, because we're not doing anything as a society to fucking beat it, bro. Like, that's the fucking thing. Like, look, but here's the thing I'm saying, Mike. Like, that behavior, that logic, we're talking about the actor choice. We're talking about the actor choice. And yeah, Kelly. I get it. Kelly, I know you're upset. I know. Here's the point I'm trying to make, Kelly. Here's the point I'm trying to make. And I understand. We've talked about legality. You want to talk about the legality of it, right? Okay, freedom of choice, whatever. But again, like I've said, morally, we're talking about the common good. Societally, we're talking about the common good. Right? That's what it comes down to. Because you and I do not have the right, because consciously, right? You and I would not, I like to think that you or I or anyone would not make the conscious decision to give themselves $1 at the cost of somebody dying. I like to think if someone came to me from a moral perspective, if someone were to come to me and say, look, I will give you $1, but someone's going to die because you took this $1, right? I don't know about you, but to me, that's not $1 worth taking. And again, I'm in a matter of privilege where I'm able to make that decision, right? Because maybe other people really need that fucking $1, right? I don't know. And I'm not gonna, and that's a different matter altogether. But what you're saying is that facing that same situation, well, it's not me, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna die, so shit. You know what? Give me $2. Fuck it. Like, that's the thing. We're making the argument. You are making the argument that because of freedom of choice, that morally, my freedoms trump the matter of safety of others. That's what freedom of choice comes to in this situation, which is why I find faults with it, which is why I called it out in the very beginning. Because the fact of the matter is that has always, like I've said before, that freedom of choice. Do the research yourself. These are statements, these are loaded statements which have been used. Loaded statements which have been used to argue over the common good. Yes, legally. Because I'm upset because I'm tired of having this fight for almost 2 years because I and so many people are immunocompromised. And people don't give a shit. They want to pretend that they're the ones that are being the most inconvenienced. Thank you for sharing, Kelly. And I understand. And I want to acknowledge and hold space. Like, look, I want us. I know that we can get. This is a passionate thing, but I'm gonna be upfront with where I stand, and I don't think it's a matter of opinion, and I don't think it's something that should be up for debate. I truly 100% believe that. Like, I don't think this is something that's up for debate. We're talking about medical experts that are telling us we're in a global health pandemic, that in order to beat it, we need to do these things, and we are not doing it for whatever reason. Kelly, I'm sorry that you're leaving feeling that way. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for holding space. And I'm sorry that you're leaving feeling like that, because that shouldn't be the intent. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. But we're actually going to close on that note, friends. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it's yeah, and you know, I get that. As if it's like to stand on, because when we're talking about these matters, the one thing I do want to say, I do want to close off, is we are talking about matters. Oh, we're talking about we're talking about COVID, about vaccines and mandates, and that was a lot of stuff, Raider. But I think the main thing, y'all, is whatever issue we do talk about, whether it's playing devil's advocate, whether it's something we believe in or not, the fact of the matter is that these are issues which affect real people in real life. Like, this is, for some people, this is the summation of their existence, having to literally tiptoe around this. Or why should I have to live my life differently because I have an autoimmune disease? I already have to live differently for that. I'm tired of people literally saying they don't care about me and my people. Yeah. And like, thank you for sharing, Kelly. And I think, like, even if you're not immunocompromised, right? Why are we I struggle to believe that freedom of choice means that I can forsake what could commonly be good for others just because to satisfy my own convenience. On that note, friends, thank you so much for holding space with me. Happy Mental Health Monday. Final note from Kelly. I'm sure you didn't. I need you to know that this is my entire life for the last 2 years. That the arguments that you made aren't made for people like me. You need to take a look at the freedoms of everyone that this affects, and maybe it isn't always worth arguing devil's advocate because the devil doesn't need an advocate. Very good point. Like I said, these are things which really affect people, and this is the summation of their existence, of their experience. And we are privileged. I am privileged in that I can walk away from this situation. But there are people who cannot. That is privilege. I am able to walk away from this as a healthy-ish human being, vaccinated or not, which I am. But that's besides the point. Kelly can be vaccinated 6 times over, right? It doesn't matter. Because she's an immunocompromised individual, she will always be at a higher risk than the average person. A person of color is always more at risk of XYZ and the third. Of discrimination, right? A person within the LGBTQIA plus community is at more risk of discrimination and bigotry and hatred, right? After 9/11, if you looked remotely Muslim or brown, or remotely Eastern, you are at higher risk of being bullied, of being picked on. Like, there are things. So the only thing I'm trying to say is that, in closing, is these conversations we have, they have very real consequences, and they have very real long lasting consequences on its participants. And just because we're not the ones directly affected by it, that does not mean that they're not happening. Much like with this issue, just much like with any other issue. And so, love you. All right, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Enjoy dinner. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone, for listening, for your voices. We're gonna be back next week. We'll be back next Monday. Okay, but to add to that, how's making everyone cater to your health, not infringing on their rights? And also extremely sorry. So, Mike, Mike, are you Mike, I'm gonna fucking ban you, bro. I'm sorry. I can't deal with this shit. I fucking can't deal with this. Like, this is so stupid. This is so fucking stupid, bro. Like, this is so stupid. Like, honestly, Mike, come on, man. Honestly, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking serious, bro? Oh, I'm sorry that you're dealing with this autoimmune issue, but because we have to help you, because we have to be respectful, but why do we have to worry about our freedoms for your autoimmune sickness? Are you fucking kidding me? Bro, it's not your fault that people are born disabled. Does that mean that you just fucking take up space on fucking wheelchair ramps, bro? Like, if we can't have fucking... I seriously can't, y'all. I'm sorry. We're gonna go raid someone because I was on a good vibe, and then we had to start talking about some shit. And frankly, Mike, we can talk about opinions and such, but the fact of the matter is that we have said this so clearly, I don't know how else to say it. And the fact of the matter is that you just came back and brought the entire argument to the very beginning, to the very core of the issue in the most unironic manner, the most idiotic manner of ways. Like, that just proves to me that you weren't listening or trying to listen in the first fucking place, and there's no point in carrying this conversation. So what's the fucking point? Because honestly, with all due respect, y'all, for everyone here, like, I don't want, if that's the kind of person you're gonna be, I don't fucking want you here. I do not want you in this community. I do not want you in this community if your action is to say, oh, well, too bad. Like, no, that's not the fucking point. And now I'm angry about it because it's so fucking ridiculous that we have to have this conversation. We've been talking about this for over a fucking hour. And now I'm yelling. We're gonna go raid Panda. We're gonna go raid Karen. Thank you, Raider, for hanging out. Thank you, everyone. I can't fucking believe this. I can't fucking believe this, y'all. Be kind. Be well. Be good. And if necessary, call out the bullshit, y'all. Because there's no time or place for that here. I'm sorry. And I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. But if you're gonna... We made the whole point again about... If you're trying to play devil's advocate, you were told that it's not cool. If you were told, like, I don't know what else to say. Because we've gone about this from so many different angles. And so thus, if that's your response, to go back to the argument, after clearly seeing just how personally affected one of the people in here is about it, just how it personally fucking affects someone about it, and you're gonna choose to callously ignore that because you have this fucking inane need and desire to be proven right and to be seen as intelligent and intellectually superior or whatever the fuck gets your rocks off? Like, fuck you, bro. Like, no, fuck you. That's all. You're a dick for that. And that's not cool. You're not welcome here. And we're gonna rape here, and I love you all, except for you know who. I still love you, but I certainly don't fucking like you right now. And I truly hope that you take some time to reconsider your perspective. But it will not come. I am happy to have this conversation, but not when it comes at the cost of other people's peace. Because this is an open conversation, and someone in this open conversation, someone has said that they are not okay with it, that they are affected by it, that they were hurt by these words. Kelly specifically said that. She went out of her fucking way to say that when really she didn't even have to, right? She did it out of respect and love for the community and for what we have built here in this space. And your actions just said, fuck all that. And that's not cool. I'm not okay with that. We're rating Perrin. I love you all. Please be kind. Please be well. And we're going to go from there, y'all. I love you. I'll see y'all next week.